Welcome back to Dubai Decoded. This is our Dubai Visa Guide, Part 2. In our first episode, we tackled the big three visas, work, green, and golden, and how they form the backbone of Dubai's residency options. Now it's time to complete the picture with the rest of the residency visa lineup. Dubai isn't just for full-time employees or big investors. There are visas for freelancers, for people working remotely, for retirees, for business partners, for family dependents, and for students. In this video, we'll break down each of them so you can have a clear idea of which visa door might open your Dubai dream. I'm Nadia Mirdad, your trusted investment consultant here in Dubai and go-to girl for everything residency, relocation, and lifestyle in the UAE. Previously, we learned that a Dubai residency visa is basically your license to live in the UAE long-term, and it can be obtained via different paths. We've talked about how a work visa ties you to an employer, the green visa lets skilled folks sponsor themselves for 5 years, and the golden visa grants 10-year residency to top investors and talents. If you haven't seen Part 1, be sure to check it out for those details. Now, let's dive into the other visa types that might be the perfect fit for your situation. We'll cover 6 visas in this episode. Freelance visa for independent self-employed professionals. Remote work visa for those with overseas jobs who want to live in Dubai. Retirement visa, a long-term visa for the 55-year-old plus. Community to enjoy Dubai. Investor partner visa for people starting or investing in businesses, not to be confused with the golden visa. Dependent visa for sponsoring your spouse, kids, and loved ones. Student visa for those coming to study in Dubai's universities. Each of these has its own niche, and by the end of this video, you'll know how they work and what it takes to get one. Let's jump right in. The freelance visa is the independence to be your own boss. Do you freelance or run a one-person business? The freelance visa might be your ticket to living in Dubai without tying yourself to a single employer. This visa is essentially a residence permit that you can obtain by getting a freelance work permit or a license in the UAE. Several free zones in Dubai and other Emirates offer freelance permits in fields like media, tech, design, marketing, and more. Once you secure that permit, it allows you to then get a residency visa under that self-established status. In practical terms, here's how it works. You apply to a Free Zones freelance program, for example, Dubai's Go Freelance initiative in TCOM, by showing your professional profile and paying the necessary fees. You'll receive a freelance license and an establishment card, basically registering you as a one-person company. With those in hand, you apply for the residency visa after the medical and ID formalities. Boom, you have a residency visa that labels you as your own sponsor through the free zone. Unlike a traditional work visa, you're not tied to one employer. You can take on multiple projects or clients legally. This is ideal for consultants, artists, writers, IT specialists, and many others in the gig economy. How long is a freelance visa? It's usually issued for 1 to 3 years and can be renewed repeatedly as long as you maintain your freelance permit. Some programs offer a choice of 1 year to 2 year visas. Others might go up to 3. It does require some investment on your part for the license fees and visa costs. So it's like setting up a mini business for yourself. But the freedom it provides is often worth it. You don't have to answer to an employer for your visa status, and you can sponsor yourself. One thing to note, the UAE also introduced the 5-year green visa for freelancers, which we discussed in Part 1. What's the difference between a green visa and a freelance visa? In short, the green visa for freelancers is a longer 5-year option, but has higher entry requirements like proof of consistent income or qualifications. The freelance visa via a free zone is typically shorter term, renewable annually or biannually, but more accessible if you just need to get started and you don't meet the green criteria. Many people actually start with a freelance visa, build up their business, and then upgrade to a green visa later for the 5-year stability once they qualify. So if you're an independent spirit wanting to make Dubai your base while working on your own terms, the freelance visa is a fantastic option. You'll be joining a growing community of entrepreneurs and creatives who call Dubai home without being tied down by a traditional job contract. Next up is the remote visa, sometimes dubbed the virtual working program. This one's quite exciting, especially in the era of digital nomads. Imagine you have a job with a company overseas, say in London, New York, or Mumbai, but you'd love to live in Dubai for the lifestyle, safety, and sunshine. Dubai says, why not? The remote work visa allows you to live in Dubai for up to 1 year while working remotely for your foreign employer. Essentially, you keep your job abroad but enjoy your daily life in the UAE. The program was launched after the pandemic to attract remote workers. It's a 1-year residency permit, renewable yearly if you continue to meet the criteria. And since it's a self-sponsored visa, no local employer needed. It's quite flexible. To qualify, you must prove you actually have a remote job or own your own company abroad and a sufficient income to support yourself. Specifically, the UAE asks for proof of employment for at least a year and a monthly income of around 3,500 US dollars, which is approximately 12,000 dirhams or more. In Dubai's version of the program, the income benchmark has often been cited around US dollars 5,000 per month, but the federal law set it at 3,500 US dollars, so expect requirements in that range. You typically submit payslips or bank statements to show this, along with a letter from your employer that you can work remotely. Once approved, you get the residency visa and can enjoy all the perks of living in Dubai, renting apartments, getting a local bank account, etc. It basically treats you like any other resident. The only difference is you're still employed abroad and legally you shouldn't take up local UAE employment on this visa. But you won't need to since you have your foreign income. It's a perfect setup if your company is okay with you working time zone differences, or if you're a freelancer with foreign clients. Freelancers with only foreign clients could also choose this or the freelance visa. It depends on your preference and eligibility. Why is this visa so relatable? Picture yourself logging off work in the afternoon and heading to Kite Beach or networking with the international community in Dubai, all while keeping your job back home. It's the best of both worlds for many, and Dubai benefits too. You contribute to the local economy by living here. It's truly a win-win. If you're considering this, make sure to have a solid remote work arrangement and meet the financial criteria. The application can be done online through Dubai's official portal or via the UAE's e-channel services. In terms of cost, there's a processing fee, a few $100s, plus requirements of health insurance in the UAE. It's relatively straightforward. In summary, the remote work visa is Dubai's invitation to global professionals, saying, bring your laptop and suitcase, come and experience Dubai. No need to quit your job. For many digital nomads and remote employees, that's an offer too good to pass up. Dubai is not only for the young and ambitious. It's also rolling out the red carpet for the young at heart retirees. The retirement visa in the UAE is a 5-year residency visa designed for expatriates who are 55 years or older. It's a relatively new initiative, first launched in Dubai in 2018 and later expanded, that recognizes many expats might want to continue enjoying the Dubai lifestyle after their careers or even move here specifically to retire. So how do you qualify to retire in Dubai? The government sets some financial criteria to ensure retirees can support themselves. You generally must meet one of the following conditions: property ownership, one or more properties in the UAE worth at least 1 million dirhams, which is approximately 270,000 US dollars. This shows you have a significant asset base in the country. Number 2, savings. you have accumulated at least 1 million in savings, about 272,000 US dollars, that you can bring into the UAE. Show a monthly income, pension or investment income of at least 15 to 20,000 dirhams, which is roughly 4 to 5,500 US dollars. The exact amount can vary. For instance, Dubai's program often cited 20,000 dirhams per month, but federal guidelines mention 15,000. This is to ensure you have a steady cash flow for living expenses. Additionally, you need, of course, to be 55 years of age or older. There was also an option in earlier rules that you qualify if you've worked for 15 plus years and are at least 55. But the current emphasis is really on the financial ability to live without work. The visa is valid for 5 years and can be renewed if you still meet the criteria each time. 5 years is generous, and it gives long-term stability similar to the green visa length. What's life on the retirement visa? Well, practically, it grants you the same resident rights. You can rent or even buy a property. You can sponsor your spouse on the visa as well. Usually retirees come as a couple, so that's expected. And you have access to UAE's excellent healthcare, though you'll need a health insurance. Dubai's pitch is that it's a great place to retire, warm weather, world-class infrastructure, and an existing expat community. You could spend your days golfing, dining out, enjoying the beaches, and seeing family. Dubai is a travel hub after all, and with zero income tax on your pension, your money could go further. One thing to clarify is that retirement visa is sometimes referred to under the golden visa umbrella. If you see the term retirement golden visa, in fact, the UAE does consider retirees as one category eligible for a long-term visa. The official portal even links it with the golden visa for retirees. But whether it's processed under a golden scheme or a standalone retirement visa, the conditions remain as above. It's basically the UAE's acknowledging that they want people to stay even after finishing work. So if you or your parents are considering a peaceful yet vibrant place to retire, Dubai's retirement visa is worth a look. It offers security and continued sense of belonging in a place many call their second home, including me. The Investor Partner Visa. Dubai's success is built on investments and enterprise. So naturally, there's a visa for those who invest in the country. Apart from the golden visa, which is for large investors, there's the regular investor or partner visa. This is typically a 3-year residency visa, sometimes 2-year in certain jurisdictions, for individuals who start a business in the UAE or invest as a partner in an existing business. In plain terms, if you set up a company or buy shares in a local company, you become eligible to sponsor yourself as an investor or partner. There are a couple of scenarios here. You might establish a new company, for example, open a small LLC or startup in a free zone company where you are the owner. In that case, you'd get an investor visa, often also called the partner visa. If there are multiple owners, to reside in Dubai, or you invest in an existing business by purchasing shares, and if those shares meet a certain value, often in the ballpark of 72,000 dirhams or more in capital, according to older rules, you qualify for a visa as partner in that business. The specifics can vary. Each free zone or authority has its process, but the end result is you being a resident as long as you maintain that investment. The Investor Partner Visa is usually issued for 3 years at a time, and it's renewable if your business is still running. It functions a lot like a work visa, except you are your own sponsor through your company. Instead of an employment contract, your trade license and shares are the basis for your visa. You'll still have to do medical tests and the normal visa steps, but your company sponsors you. And yes, just like the work visa holders, you can sponsor your immediate family on this visa too. Now, what's the difference between this and the golden visa for investors? Scale and flexibility. The golden visa for investors requires a big investment. So it's about 2 million dirhams in property or in a company. It gives you a 10-year term with extra perks. The standard investor visa is for smaller scale business owners. Think of a person who opens a consultancy, a restaurant owner, or someone who invests in a friend's company. The threshold is much lower. Essentially, if you're listed as an owner or a partner in a license, you qualify. It's more immediate and easier to obtain than the golden, but it's shorter term. You must actively maintain that business. If the business closes or you sell off your shares, your visa would be canceled, just as a work visa would if you would quit your job. A quick, relatable scenario. Let's say you and a friend launch a tech startup in Dubai. You register the company and each of you owns 50% of the shares. Both of you can get partner visa through that company. You don't need a separate boss. Your company is the sponsor. This is a great route for entrepreneurs who want to be based in Dubai to build their ventures. It gives you the freedom to run your business and live in the UAE, and it shows the world you are committed to your project since you literally have a residency by investing in it. Lastly, be aware of the property investor visa, which is similar in concept. If you buy property in Dubai above a certain value, often at least 1 million dirhams, there are 2 or 3 year residency visas available for property investors too. Those aren't exactly partner visas, but it's another investor route. Dubai has multiple ways to attract investment after all. In summary, the investor partner visa is the gateway for entrepreneurs and business owners. It's all about putting some skin in the game in Dubai's economy, and in return, you get to call Dubai home and take advantage of its business-friendly environment as a resident. This brings us to the dependent visa, often simply called a family visa. Dubai is a city that values family life, and the government makes it possible for those working or living in the UAE to bring their immediate family members with them. The dependent visa isn't a standalone visa you get on your own. It's a sponsorship arrangement where a current resident, the sponsor, petitions for their spouse, children, or parents to live in the UAE as well. Here's how it works. Suppose you've secured your own residency, be it through a work visa, green, golden, freelance, investor, etc. If you meet the certain minimum income conditions, you can sponsor your wife or husband and your children for residence visas under your sponsorship. The rules have become quite accommodating. Any resident earning around 4,000 dirhams per month or 3,000 with accommodation provided can sponsor their family. It no longer matters what your job title is. What matters is that you have a valid visa and sufficient income. This is a big change from the past when only certain professions could sponsor families. Now, salary is the key factor. When you sponsor a dependent, you're essentially taking responsibility for them in the country. You'll need to provide documentation like marriage certificates for spouses or birth certificates for kids, duly attested, proof of your housing, and so on. Your family members will undergo the routine medical test, and when they get their own residency visas, which are tied to and expire with yours, for example, if your work visa is valid until 2026, your spouse's dependent visa will usually have the same date. If you renew yours, you renew theirs. Who can be sponsored? Typically, a spouse or husband or a wife, children, sons usually up to 18 years of age, but recently the UAE extended this to sons up to 25 years old if still studying. Daughters can be sponsored until they get married. No age limit specified for unmarried daughters. This means your university-age kids can stay on your visa, which is great for families. Parents, you can sponsor your mother and father, but the requirements are a bit stricter. You usually must show a higher salary, often at least 20,000 dirhams, and pay a deposit for each parent. Parent visas are typically granted on a yearly basis, renewable each year, because the authorities want to ensure you continue to meet the conditions. One important note, dependents cannot legally work in the UAE unless they transfer to a work visa or get a work permit. For example, If you sponsor your spouse and then they find a job, their new employer should transfer their visa to an employment visa. Alternatively, since 2023, the law allows adult dependents to work if they get a work permit while remaining on your sponsorship. But paperwork is needed. So the dependent visa is meant for family accompaniment, not bypassing work visa rules. In day-to-day life, a family visa means your spouse can live with you, your kids can enroll in schools, etc., without each needing separate job sponsors. It provides stability, families don't have to be split up. Just remember, as a sponsor, if your own visa gets canceled, say you lose your job, your family's visa will be canceled too. And you'll all need to either leave or find a new way to stay, a new job or a temporary extension. Dubai's dependent visa policies have really evolved to be more inclusive. Even women can sponsor their families now under certain conditions. For instance, a woman working as an engineer, teacher, or in medical field used to need special approval. But nowadays, if a woman earns above the salary threshold, she can sponsor her kids and husband in general. The push is towards equality and making it family-friendly. To wrap up on this, the dependent visa is the reason Dubai is full of vibrant families, not just solo expat workers. It allows the city to feel like home for everyone. If you move to Dubai alone, know that once you're settled, you can bring your loved ones too, which makes the whole experience much more rewarding. Our final category is the student visa. Dubai has become a regional hub for higher education, with branch campuses of international universities and renowned local institutions. If you're an international student looking to study in Dubai, or even a high school student coming to a boarding school, you'll need a student residency visa to live here for your studies. A student visa is typically arranged through the university or educational institute that admitted you. In fact, universities in the UAE often have departments that handle the visa process on behalf of their students. By UAE law, a student visa is usually granted for 1 year at a time, and it's renewable each year of your study program. This makes sense. It aligns with academic years. Each year, you'll show proof you're still enrolled and progressing, and the visa gets extended. So how does one get a student visa? If you're coming from abroad for university, you'll first secure admission. Then the university will likely instruct you on documents needed, commonly passport copies, photos, and tenancy or dorm accommodation proof, and maybe a bank statement or a sponsor's financial proof if they require it. The university becomes your sponsor, essentially, or in some cases, a parent can be the sponsor. More on that in a second. Once processed, you get your residency visa and Emirates ID. This visa allows you to live in the UAE and study, but not work full-time. You can do part-time jobs or internships if the UAE laws allow via a student work permit, but that's a separate process. An interesting twist in Dubai is that if you already have a parent living in the UAE, you might not need a student visa per se. You could remain on a parent sponsorship as a dependent while you study, as mentioned earlier. And the UAE now allows parents to sponsor sons until 25 years of age if they're studying, which covers most university durations. Daughters often stay on family sponsorship anyways, since there's no age gap if unmarried. In such cases, the student doesn't shift to university-sponsored visa. They just keep their family visa. This is common for expat families residing in Dubai. Their kids go to local universities while still on a family visa. However, for an international student coming solo, the university will handle your visa. Some UAE universities even offer 5-year student visas for long programs, or if you're an outstanding student, as a kind of scholarship perk. And notably, exceptional students, high achievers, might be eligible for a golden visa as well, which is a special case where a student visa isn't needed because they get the 5 or 10-year golden residency right away due to their talent. That's a minority though, so most students will have the standard 1-year rolling visa. Life on a student visa is pretty straightforward. You must remain enrolled. If you drop out or finish studies, the visa will be canceled after a short grace period. Upon graduation, you typically get a grace period to stay and look for a job. The UAE recently started offering graduates a chance to extend their stay a few months to job hunt. If you find a job, you'd switch to a work visa, and if you want to start a business, maybe switch to an investor or freelance visa. A student visa is thus a stepping stone. It lets you live in Dubai during your education, and afterwards you can transition to another residency type if you plan to remain in Dubai for work or other pursuits. To summarize, Dubai's student visa process is welcoming. Universities actively assist with it, and the city offers a great environment for student life. You're not just getting an education, you're also getting exposure to a global city. And who knows, after graduation, you might use one of the other visas we discussed to continue your Dubai journey. We've now navigated the full landscape of Dubai's residency visas across these 2 episodes, from work and talent-based visas in part 1 to the lifestyle and situation-based visas in part 2. You should have a comprehensive view of the pathways to call Dubai home. The obvious question is, which visa route should you take? And that, of course, depends on your personal situation and goals. If you have a job offer, the work visa is your go-to, at least initially. If you're a skilled freelancer or entrepreneur, the green or a freelance visa could be ideal for flexibility. If you qualify as an investor or an exceptional talent, the golden visa is a game changer. If your plan is to retire, look into the retirement visa and enjoy Dubai's golden sunsets. If you're studying or have family to bring, student and dependent visa ensure everyone can be together in Dubai. And for the remote workers, Dubai is saying, why not work from here with the remote work visa? Dubai's residency system has evolved to be one of the most dynamic and accommodating in the world, in line with the city's global vibe. It might seem a bit complex at first, but hopefully I've broken it down in a way that's clear and relatable. There's a strategic reason behind each visa type, and knowing these can help you plan your move or your next step. Whether it's climbing the career ladder, investing in property, or starting a business under the desert sun. As we wrap up part 2, here's a final thought. Don't be afraid to seek professional guidance. Regulations can update and individual circumstances vary. You might want to consult with a visa specialist or the UAE government portals, which I cited throughout, for the latest info. That said, you're now equipped with the foundational knowledge to have those conversations and make informed decisions. Thank you for joining me on this 2-part deep dive into Dubai visas. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more insights on living and thriving in Dubai. I regularly share updates and tips, so staying tuned could save you a lot of time and effort in your Dubai journey. Feel free to drop any questions or your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you need personalized guidance, me and my team are here to help. Don't hesitate to contact me directly for a one-to-one advice. And with that, we've now explored the full range of residency visas that make Dubai not just a place to visit, but a place to truly belong. Remember, it's not about rushing the process. It's about choosing the path that feels aligned, the one that lets you move through the city with confidence and clarity. In the next episode of Dubai Decoded, we'll begin answering the next big question most people ask after their visa is approved. How do I open a bank account in the UAE? And how do I make sure I choose the right one? Because without access to your money, the rest of the journey doesn't flow. We'll talk about local versus international banks, required documents, and common mistakes to avoid. And soon after that, we'll decode the world of company formation and explain which setup actually makes sense for investors, freelancers, and founders in today's Dubai. Until then, wherever you are in the world, stay open, stay grounded, and peace to you.